Hello, my beautiful rainbow slide community. Welcome to your next energy update reading. And in this reading, Spirit wanted to talk to you about the meaning behind the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords has a bit of a negative connotation. It can talk about betrayal of some sort or deception. Because of that, I chose my most colorful tarot decks here for group 1. I chose the Rainbow Tarot by Soul, and this is what the Seven of Swords for group number 1 is looking like. And for group number 2, I chose the Weird Cat Tarot. It's a bit silly, kind of a tarot with full of cats. And this Seven of Swords is a little dog in a cat costume. That's how your card looks like. And I already, like you can see, I already shuffled your oracle cards that we will start with, and then I already shuffled some tarot cards, and we will lay them underneath the oracle cards to see the meaning. And you can take your time, and without any further ado, we will get started, and I see you in your reading. So group number 1, hello, welcome to your energy update reading. You chose this beautiful Seven of Swords, the kind of sandish yellow. I think I put it on the left side for you here to see during the whole reading, but let's start with your oracle cards. I had a few. The tarot cards we put aside. So what do we have here? We have Feast, slow down and celebrate yourself. For your first oracle card. Alright. Okay, then we have the riddle, yeah. Yeah, here I already see that the Spirit is pointing out the meaning behind both cards that are not very similar, but there is a connection here already. It's about needing to take a step back and to look on the things you have already accomplished in life and try not to try to get out of the riddle. Like, I have the feeling you must be somewhat inside of your head already with the Seven of Swords here, and maybe you are caught up in some kind of a labyrinth or riddle situation in your life, and you need to get out there to find some rest and to find some new meaning, a new path maybe to go, because here it's clearly talking about taking that rest and celebrating the things you already have and celebrating yourself also. But yeah, you need to step out of this, the thing you make up in your head maybe, or maybe you are looking at the problem in the form of, it feels like it's some kind of a puzzle you need to solve, and in order to be able to solve it, or to figure out that you don't even have to solve it because it isn't a puzzle, it's just something you think in your head, you need to get away. I already see the meaning of the Seven of Swords here. The part of the Seven of Swords they're talking about, to get out of this situation, you need to take a step back and celebrate and kind of like focus on something else. But let's see what Spirit else has to say. We have here the vulture. The vulture, and I think it's called asphodel. The flower asphodel with upheaval. Yeah, some kind of upheaval is in your life, has happened, maybe in the past or at the moment. And because of that, or this situation here, this riddle situation is causing this upheaval in your life. Then we have the orangutan here. An orangutan, I think. Yeah, it's an orangutan. Okay. And for the last card of your oracle cards, we have the Meditation for clarity, beautiful card, very nice. It fits very well with the beginning here, this taking time for yourself, taking a step back, trying to figure things out. But in the middle of the reading, there's this kind of darkness here, and this vulture, and this, like, I think the riddle feels for you has some kind of a, you feel in your head some kind of like really deep, maybe your work situation, you are trying to create something, but you feel too much stuck in your head, and you need to get out of it. You need to, in order to make a plan to get out of it, you need to take a step back and to rest, celebrate something, maybe go out with friends, or be completely alone. I don't see an energy like the Hermit here, but with meditation and clarity, it usually, when we go into some kind of a meditative mode, we are usually alone, or we are supposed to be alone to be able to get some downloads or just some rest. And it's not really talking about any download here. I think it's more talking about taking a step back, and by in a very logic way, not waiting for anything else to happen that forces you to take a step out of it. I think you need to force yourself to get some rest, maybe go on a vacation, go on a trip, but whatever you do, make sure it will give you some relief. Maybe even grieve about a certain situation, because I think that's what I first thought when I saw these two cards, is a situation. It could be where we are in our head because of some kind of tragedy that happened in life that we still think about. It could be something a long time ago, and it could be something from childhood, something from the time we went to school, and could be also something that just happened lately, but something that gave you a lot of things to think about, and you are stuck in your head with that. You're kind of like this riddle here with the snake, and the snake pattern. We're thinking of these things over and over and over again, and we cannot get out of it. And there's other people, other things that try to help us, but in the end we need to get out of it ourselves. No one will can help us, really. It's us. We have to find the motivation somehow, the motivation to get out of it. And I'm trying to think of the meaning of an orangutan here, because I think one of the basic meaning in this card is the grounding part, and getting outside and finding a place outside to heal. Maybe even going, I have the feeling like this house over here, this kind of castle looking place, looks like the place that she's sitting inside. She's sitting inside of her own castle and celebrating the things she has. And the orangutan also stands for, they are very calm animals, unless we threaten them, but in their natural environment they have really just very little aggression inside of them, and they have some kind of healing ability. They know which plant to eat in order to help other people in their tribe or themselves. I know that humans oftentimes associate with the orangutan some kind of healing powers, and yeah, that's what I see here. And kind of like getting out of any work, getting out of problematic situations, getting out of emotions even. If we have troubled emotions here, the meditation for clarity is usually needed to see this situation that creates us leaving, and to find a solution, to be able to find a solution at the end. But this is not talking about any solution here. It is just talking about getting out of it, out of whatever troubles us, finding rest, stop any work, grieve our pain from the past that we still hold on to, and cleanse any emotional wounds we carry with us. Yeah, that's what I see here. And I think the meditation for clarity is already like a hint on how to do that. Going outside in nature and finding a place to meditate. If you've never meditated, maybe try it out, start it. There's a lot of meditations online, guided meditations, but I'm more a fan of completely quietness. I know it's very hard to do if you've never done it before, and you don't need to have like a perfect way to sit or to lay down. Like, you don't need to look at pictures of how other people or gurus or Buddhas are meditating. Any pop cultural image you have in your head about meditation, try to get rid of it. Just maybe go outside in nature, find a place in a park, maybe some bench, and sit there and just watch and be quiet, and don't hear the noise in your head. Try to just focus on what you see, and maybe for 1 or 5 minutes try to even close your eyes, and then try to see with your ears what can you hear at that place, and try to experiment with it and find your own way for meditation, but do it enough and long enough, and to be able to get some rest, to have the feeling of your emotions and your feelings in general just kind of calming down, because only when we are in this very, very calm meditative state, Spirit is able to talk to us, or ideas we try to figure out here, and we got caught up in a riddle about it, then those ideas can really come to us only when we reset some parts or of us, yeah, or every part. I think it's from, how did I do it? No, this was one of the last cards here. It's the end, yeah, so I have to start with this. Okay. We have the Queen of Wands. Yeah, I remember her, the Queen of Wands, popping out at first. So after that, the King of Cups here. Okay. So I already see the Queen of Wands is kind of like referring to this card here. It's a similar pose both have. I'll show you how she's sitting here on her throne with the cat. It's a very spiritual queen. Very feminine, but very powerful, and kind of like spiritual business queen, you could call her. And the King of Cups is a very not emotional king. I think people mistake this card for a very emotional person. It's more that this King of Cups has his emotions in control. He knows when to feel or when to stop to feel. And I don't know, maybe it could talk about two people here, since it's two court cards right at the beginning. And I have the feeling that maybe they don't share much similarities, because the Queen of Wands here is a very sunny, very summer-like card, and he looks like this looks like a very cloudy, rainy day here, you know. And maybe this gives me the idea of there's a very colorful, uplifting person on one side. Maybe it's you or your partner or ex-partner or a friend or a family member. And then there's this other person that's more like on a very melancholic side of life, since his face expression is also not so happy here. Even though the King of Cups is a very powerful card, because, like I said, he is able to transform his emotions, he's able to regulate his emotions, he mastered that. He's not a knight, he's not like drowning in his, or a page drowning in his emotions and being overly romantic. He is actually in control of all of that, and he knows when it's time to yeah, it depends. You can name any emotion here, when it's time to be in a very loving state, and he also knows when it's time to stop that, to be able to work, and to not only like be in the clouds of some codependencies maybe, or in the clouds of some, yeah, any kind of emotions that hinder us to follow our path. Oh wow, okay, so we have the Pope here. So it might be really talking about, maybe the reading is talking about the situation in your private life. The energy you are in at the moment might be one that where you kind of like try to figure out what someone was about and why two people could be so different from another. And the Pope is, because the Pope can talk about marriage in the best sense, but this is like a very basic card meaning. Usually it is more about the things that we want to create and build in life, but then there's other things in the background that we cannot see that are also there, you know, the things that are more transparent. But let's see if there's a story here. Then we have the Hermit. Yeah, the Hermit makes complete sense, because this is kind of like the Hermit energy here going, yeah, maybe there's something happened here between those two people. It could be also like a working relationship, but since it's really two court cards, and court cards are a lot of times talking about individuals in our life, so it, I guess, my guess, it's just a very general guess here, that you are the King of Cups, that you have this kind of grief here with the riddle and the vulture, and you are in this upheaval situation in your life because of another person, or because of someone that you maybe miss, or someone you would like to be like. And Spirit is saying here, in order to get out of this misery, out of this grief, or out of this those toxic thought patterns here, and Spirit is saying there's nothing to solve here. It's not a mystery. There's nothing really that you did wrong, you could say. Things are what they are, and just try to get out of your head about it, kind of, and try to create situations in your life where you celebrate yourself. And in order to find some epiphanies or some new path that you can go to, you need to go into hermit mode and find a place to look within here with the meditation card, and ground yourself also with the orangutan here. Oh, then okay, this makes sense. Now we have the Queen of Cups. and the Knight of Cups. Okay, interesting. So we have from the cup cards, we have like an evolution here. We have the Knight, only the page is missing. The Knight, the Queen, and the King of Cups. And in the middle here, it's talking about taking some time off. Two major arcanas here in the middle of the reading. And here in the middle of the reading of the oracle cards, we also have this problem here. The riddle that we cannot solve, that we are somewhat unable to solve because we are too much in our head about it, and Spirit is advising us to look within, take some time off, and because then we are able to see the things about this situation here, I guess, that we are unable to see. That are that seem to be or really are not on the dark side. That's not what it is. It's on the side of things that we, if we are in our head, we don't have any connection to our emotions. If we are only in our head, and the parts of us or the parts of some kind of truth that we can't see. If we're too much in our head or too much in our heart, that can also be, because I can see some kind of grief here. Yeah. And when we do that, so it could be that it's like this King of Cups can find the Queen of Cups, and in the middle of them, in order to find the Queen of Cups, this kind of match up here, we need to do that. If we stop focusing on this figure here, even though the Queen of Wands is a very nice energy, you know, but probably if we are getting into this attitude over here with the feast, to slow down, celebrate yourself and pamper yourself, then we are able to change this upheaval, like to get through this transformation period and get out of it, and really transform into a Queen of Cups energy. The Queen of Cups here is always looking at the Holy Grail, and she's holding this grail in her hand. It's the final cup. It's the Ace of Cup, the cup that everyone wants. And when the King of Cups has his emotions in control, the Queen of Cups is also capable of that, but she is looking at it constantly. It's a card that stands also for therapy, looking inside and looking at the emotions, being able not the emotions taking over you, but she is able to look at them and reflect them, and is able to say, okay, this is this emotion, this is that one, and when I feel that, then it means this, and when I feel that, then it's that. And to really, she is not someone who is like in the middle of the ocean and drowning, because she knows how to decipher and differentiate between all the. She also knows that the emotions also are connected very much to our psyche, and she's a very, very healing energy, very healing. One of the most healing cards in the tarot deck. And the Knight of Cups is like 2 steps before those the King and the Queen, and the Knight of Cups is always coming with very romantic emotions, and he is kind of like moving out of this picture here, you know. They are kind of like, this is like this riddle here. I see this as a whole, and when we finish it, when we end it, when we really meditate on the things and look within to find that star, this new path, then we are able to walk out of the situation. Look how different this is. At the beginning we have the Seven of Cups energy, where she's trying to get away with her thoughts with the swords, and in the middle of the night. And he is also on a path here. He is moving forward on his horse, but with a very open and perceptive attitude. It's perceptive is maybe not the right word. With the he's completely open. Like the posture, he knows what he wants and he's going forward, but he's not running, he's not hesitating, he's just doing it, and he's completely healed. And the river here in the background is talking about the emotions, and maybe it's the river of healing, where he has this healing water in his cup. And it's nighttime in this picture here. There's the moon. And here we have also kind of like darker looking sky. But both people do it in a different way. She's going on her path and is kind of like betraying someone, probably herself. And this Knight of Cups knows about himself, is very self-confident and knows what he has to offer. You're probably in a state here where you are not able to offer anything. You can't offer your emotions in a healthy way. But if you withdraw and take some time for yourself, you will find the energies, the strength to be able to walk off this story here in a very loving way, like the Knight of Cups, and you are able to give your cup to other people again. Yeah, and orangutan here and this meditation for clarity is really talking about getting out there, and the hermit, like getting out into find a place where you can get some rest and try to make it longer than just a weekend. That's what I see here so far. It all makes sense. I'm very happy that it's not completely mixed informations here. It makes a lot of sense, this reading. And I hope you got some clarity with this energy update reading about your situation. And if you like, you can watch the next reading. But whatever you do, I hope to see you in my next reading, and hope you have a nice week, have a beautiful day, and see you. Bye bye. Hello, my group number 2. Welcome to your energy update reading. And you chose this very silly looking Seven of Swords card. We put it over here for the reading, and we will see what Spirit wants to tell you with the first oracle cards I chose for you, and after that we will look at the tarot cards. So at first we have the Mirror card. Beautiful. Treat your body like the palace it is. And we have the little palace here, the big one, the big palace, but looking very small because it's in the background. It's a very playful, very carefree card, and I have the feeling that there's a reference here towards the Seven of Swords. I think the Seven of Swords natural meaning is not really in this card here, at least not for this reading, but we will see what the other cards have to say. It seems to be a very, very childlike, playful, open, receptive, being in the present 100% kind of energy. Yeah, let's see, what else do we have? The Creator card, yeah, makes a lot of sense. And again, creation, creativity. For this, some kind of playfulness is needed. And we have the Creator also in this card, because maybe you can see this white light that is shining down on her, and being like accompanying her with her good time. And the Creator card is usually a card that is talking about trusting the divine while during creation, to be your companion, and trusting that the divine will always, unless you're not very creative and playful and open and receptive, but if you are, then the divine will always send you some new ideas and will always show you which path you need to take, which step is next. And here we have the elk and the ash with the strengths. But I get the feeling that it's more talking about this, maybe there's an energy you lack, kind of creative energy. Then Spirit is saying you need to develop this strength to get out of this mode, whatever maybe you are in the Seven of Swords mode, kind of focusing too much on betrayal or on things, but Spirit is saying don't give a damn, just go out there, create, be happy, be open, maybe even rest a little bit and treat your body like the palace it is, like it says over here. Try to have a good time in between the things you do. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, another very playful card here with the little monkey in the branches, hanging, swinging in the branches here. It's definitely talking about playtime and having a good time. Earth magic and the crystal in the middle, and then some sage. She's creating with the earth elements. She's very much in her essence in the earth, surrounding by earth plants and materials like the stone and everything, and she's very deep in this element and creating out of it. And the little cat on the bottom here is also playing with the earth materials, so maybe you need to find the strength to find the creative aspect in the nature that's around you, on nature elements maybe, because we have here, of course, this is always a nature and animal deck, but we have some trees over here. Here we have the leaves. Here we have also this nature surrounding her. So maybe in a way those two cards are different, because here she's almost up in the air. She's like dancing on the water, and she is very grounded on the earth. But both of them, I cannot say both of them are creating, but maybe in order to be able to create again, there's some playtime needed here. Definitely. That's at least one of the messages here. And I can also see that the ape is usually a symbol for strength, intelligence, and not just on the physical, also with a lot of communication skills in their tribes. That's what they need, and they are very, very strong communicators. Yeah. So we have in your first tarot card the Six of Pentacles over here. Yeah, again, they are playing the little kitties with the strawberries, and there's this very almost like feeling, kind of like Mother Mary, Divine Mother over here, watching over them and being very pleased with what she is giving to the kittens, and the kittens are playing with it, and she's not oversharing, but she's also not giving to less, like she's giving enough and enjoying it herself, that she's giving her children, her baby kitten, a good time. So I get a very, very pleased and playful but also calm energy in your reading. The World card, another very playful kitten. It's very cute. The World card is indicating that there's some cycle over here or about to end. Maybe it will be over, and also a new cycle will start when you start to be playful again. And maybe it's maybe Spirit is just validating you for your very fun nature. I have the feeling you are probably very sweet, very very carefree and fun and loving. The card, the picture of the card, it's usually talking about the kind way of giving to people and being in a very soft way, soft-spoken manner, being extremely kind to people and giving and taking, but in a very loving way. Yeah. It's not so much talking about creation, even though we have the Creator and this Earth Magic card, but for some reason I'm very, very much focused on yourself here. Maybe Spirit wants to tell you, please remember this playful time from your childhood. In case you are a very serious person and have a hard time with being very playful, then Spirit is urging you to remember that and to come out of your shell, maybe. And the Queen of Pentacles is also, it's like it feels like she is remembering the things that her mother gave her and the way you used to play with it, and she remembers it, and she kind of like, she accomplished something here in life already. Yeah. And for your last tarot card we have the Eight of Pentacles. Usually the Eight of Pentacles is a very like a work environment card, like getting down there and working and being extremely focused. But here we have this little cat watering her strawberries, and it feels like for some reason she's very much into strawberries in this reading, and she likes taking care of it. It feels like she's remembering something from the past and is starting to grow the strawberries that she used to get from her mother or her from a certain maybe work environment, from school time, wherever you used to have a good time in the past, and she remembers that, and now she has kind of like the idea to create those strawberries herself, to plant the seeds and to become her own gardener of her own life. It's like I get the feeling in this reading of a person who is very young, who still is living with their parents, or maybe it's not about age. You can also live with your parents and are a bit older, but maybe it's time to move out. Or maybe you are living with a person who taught you a lot, and maybe it's time to move on, but and be good to yourself and remember all the things that you learned. And I have the feeling something is over here, maybe some work situation, or the time that you lived with your parents, or some similar energy here, or a relationship is over and you are moving somewhere else. But whatever you do, you will always remember the things that they gave you in the past, and you are now at a point where you need to develop some strength and to create. Look how similar this is here in the ending. We have the earth magic. She's creating things with the earth elements, and she's also watering her plants and is creating something that way. And both of them have the same look on their face. They seem to be very proud because they know what's about to happen when they finish it, when it's done. And they are very calm, and they are not very resistant, or they're not hesitating, and they're not very aggressive or anything like worried. Like, it's not at all. They're super calm and very sweet and playful. So that's what I have for you here in your reading. I hope you like it, and I can see that you are in a very, very carefree, happy state of energy at the moment, and please carry on with this. And Spirit is not telling us anything serious over here. Yeah, I hope you will have a great week, and I see you in your next reading. Bye bye.